Hello, I'm Chuck Richards, and I'd like to welcome Jeff Gudman, Republican candidate for state treasurer.
Good afternoon, Chuck. Delighted to be here.
We're glad to have you. I'll go on to my first question. Describe your campaign platform and how it applies to seniors and people with disabilities.
Certainly. There are three elements of my campaign platform for Oregon State Treasurer. They are competence, integrity, and vision. I've spent a lifetime in the financial field, whether serving as an analyst, controller, or a treasurer, and I've been a treasurer both in business, in not-for-profits, and elsewhere in almost every organization that I've served, be it Northwest Pilot Project, Housing for the Poor and Elderly, to the businesses where I've been involved in, where I've generally been the chief financial officer. Integrity, because I'm not interested in running for governor. The treasurer's position is the one I want. I'm not using it as a position to run for another position. And vision, whereby I serve all Oregonians, not just one particular group. I'll pay attention and listen with all groups, but I'm campaigning to be the treasurer of all Oregonians.
The Oregon Able Savings Account lets people with disabilities save money without getting disqualified from their state and federal benefits, such as SSI, Oregon Health Plan, food benefits, and more. What would you do to state treasurer to ensure that ABLE programs account are more efficient and for people with disabilities?
That's a great question. The Oregon Saves program is a terrific program, helping people save for retirement for those who are not participating in a retirement plan at their place of work. So I'm delighted that the program has been going well. The way it can be more effective is, number one, make sure that the administrative costs, which are run through the treasurer's office, are as low as possible. That's the administrative costs both internally to the treasurer's office and the administrative costs where the dollars are being invested. A constant focus on those costs drives down the costs and they'll provide more revenue to the people who are participating in the program. Secondly is to make sure that on the revenue side or the investment side, that the programs and the opportunities are as safe as possible so that when a person chooses to retire or draw on those funds, that they're going to be available to them in the amount that the people anticipate.
If elected, what would you do to increase awareness and security of the ABLE accounts?
Certainly. That's something I've done a very good job at during my time of previous elected service on the Lake Oswego City Council. Almost every month, although not every month, I was writing a column in the local paper, the Lake Oswego Review, talking about the financial issues, the infrastructure issues, all of the issues of the city that impacted me as a city councilor and impacted the residents. I'm a very, very strong believer of informing and persuading the public. And that's a two-way street. But the public can't inform me unless they know what I think, so that we can have that discussion about how to make things better. So I would anticipate, as the next treasurer of Oregon, doing all that I can through all of the different mediums available, laying out what I'm thinking, and not just simply identifying platitudes like Oregon Saves is a good program, offering specifics as to why it's good, what can be done to make it better, and why everybody should participate and have expanded opportunities to participate. I think, as President Lincoln said, if you have the people behind you, then there is nothing else that can't be accomplished. And a way of getting people behind you is to inform and persuade through communication. And that's something I've taken pride in through my previous elected service, and I anticipate very much continuing to do so when I become Oregon's next treasurer.
In your opinion, what are the most important roles of the state treasurer? How would you carry out these key roles?
Certainly. That is probably, I'll call it, the billion-dollar question. As many people are aware, the Oregon Public Employee Retirement System is the alligator eating its tail. It is sucking up dollars which otherwise might go for elder services, for childcare, for education, and it's increasing amounts all the time. I have specific ideas that I want to do about that. You have to work with all of the parties, bring everybody to the table, but it's not just something the treasurer coming in and saying, do this. It's very important to have all parties at the table, which means the public unions, which means the government entities, all the players, to develop a way of getting out of this problem, because it is a terrible problem that we have, and there's no good answer to it. We're dealing with the consequences of decisions made decades ago. That needs to be addressed. In contrast to my opponent, Mr. Reed, his silence on the issue of PERS is deafening. He says nothing about what it is, how it's going, how it can be improved, how it can be changed. He's the self-proclaimed financial navigator for the state. And I don't know about you, but when the state hires, or if I hire a financial navigator, I expect them to give you advice, explain their thinking, go over their thinking to try and persuade you to the point of view, and to engage in that dialogue. Mr. Reed sadly does not. I will.
Thank you once again. This is Jeff Gudman, Republican candidate for state treasurer.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure.